Oh, hold on. Wait, I got my hands around because I got to dap you up. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Yo, everyone. Welcome to Kine Smokable Cast. How's it going? We at StudioMe up in Pittsburgh. This is Joe Leachko, one of the founders. How's it going, man? It's good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the future. It's like when you come here, it's like a. Oh, there you go. Oh, Apple Studio. Oh, hey, Bob, what's up? Triple cameras set up and all this stuff. It's super dope. It's really good creative energy. Like I said, reminds me of like a lot of the opposites I worked with in like Silicon Valley and stuff. So, you know, if you want to get like high production, quality content and in terms of, and especially at a really affordable rate, especially for like startups, which is like their dream, StudioMe. It's in Pittsburgh. Hey, all you Carnegie Mellon students, you know, like making all those tech innovations. There you go. Those tech innovations. Yeah, you know where to go. StudioMe, what's up, baby? Anyway, Joe. Again, dap me up, brother. Yeah, it's good to have you on the show, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Like, all right, so give me the spiel. What's your backstory, man? Like, how'd you come to be you and do this, you know?
So, I mean, if you wanted to go way back to when I first came to Pittsburgh.
Go. Yeah, we got an hour, bro.
I would say it's a little bit by accident. I wasn't really meant to come to Pittsburgh at first, and I was in high school, and
where are you from?
I'm actually from Cleveland originally.
Oh, CLE! Shout out to the Bone Thugs. What's up, baby? Let's go. All right, keep going.
Yeah, and it was you know, I grew up there until I was 18, went to high school and everything, and didn't see myself really going to school for like business or one of those more traditional settings. And one day, I was in class and one of my teachers said that the Art Institute of Pittsburgh had come in and they were doing some, show and tells of what their capabilities are and what you could do. And I loved cars growing up and I was on the creative side, and they were showing like, hey, you could become a car designer or you could become a product developer or anything like that. So I went to the class, and this was like, 4 or 5 months out of graduating high school, to move on to college. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do about face and go to the Art Institute and go to Pittsburgh and see what this is all about. It's like, it was a nice divide between more of the technical engineering side and like the design side of things. Yeah. And came to Pittsburgh and kind of didn't know anyone when I got here. And, my whole goal here was to know everyone in the city one day. And like every corner I turned, I would know somebody. Yeah. Because the city was so small and it's a very successful city. Mm-hmm. So I came here and kind of started that path and never looked back. And
nice. When did you move here?
Oh man, like 13 years ago, I would say. So it's been a while. I think it was 2007 I came here.
Where'd you go to uni? University, sorry.
Yeah, it's Art Institute of Pittsburgh.
Art is that's right. That's right. Yeah, you told me this like 3 times.
Yeah, and
lapses of memory, whatever.
Yeah, so I graduated with an industrial design degree, and
that's right.
Kind of focused my path on the architectural design side. That's right. Yeah. Marketing environments and trade shows.
Did you look at going to Georgia Tech when you were thinking of going to?
No, actually, because I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I kind of just like dumped myself into it because I wanted to design cars and end up, that's right. changing that track and moving on to the industrial design side of things, more or less. And moved on, and then for 10 years I have been an architectural designer at a exhibit design firm. We do marketing environments and sometimes storefronts, where our main bread and butter is trade shows. There's fashion trade shows and there are automobile trade shows, all those big auto shows or anything like that we do those big setups and exhibits that encase products and everything. So but then as the years have been going on, my business partner, Keith, we kind of met by accident as well. This is another by accident.
Shout out Keith. Oh, there you go. Sorry,
shout out Keith.
Keep going. Yeah, there you go.
And it was kind of by accident how we met. And so that's like another one thing that was an accident, that was a good accident, a happy accident, was meeting somebody like him. And then just keeping in touch over the years. And, after I think it was about 5 years, we didn't see each other just because of just moving different parts of the city. I feel, one side note, I feel when you move in different parts of the city of Pittsburgh, you don't see the same people anymore because there's like little boroughs, little ecosystems around Pittsburgh that people only stay within their couple of miles of that part, So that's what kind of happened. I moved for the opposite side of the city. He stayed in one side of the city. I was on the other side of the city. And didn't see each other for a handful of years. And then, again, by accident, ran into each other again at a gym down in Southside.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Southside. What's up? That's all where the bars are at. If you want to learn some Pittsburgh geography, I'm still learning. But you're going.
Yeah. And, I kind of was talking to him, and we became friends again. And you know, ever since the day we were like, hey, let's hang out. I think you're cool. I'm cool. Like, you know, he was getting married, so he invited me to his wedding, which was amazing.
Oh, no.
It was wild. Yeah.
And
from there, we just kind of hit it off. And then we thought about, you know, we both valued a lot of values of each other. You know, there were a lot of aspects of him that I liked a lot, and he liked a lot of aspects of me that we think we could be successful with. And so we're, you know, he's from the video world. I'm coming from corporate marketing environments and architectural side of things. So he's like, how can we put these two things together?
That's
and
sick,
he was
bro.
like, he came up, you know, with the idea of basically us sitting in the studio now, which he was pitching the idea to me at the gym one day, and that was like our common thing. We'd always meet each other at the gym. And
such a meathead. I'm just joking.
it was
this guy's
like,
jacked, though.
well, we valued fitness together,
Of course,
you know,
health is mental health is everything. You know, everything's
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and it was something that we were able to like vent to each other then and talk. And so when he pitched this idea, he's like, I basically want to scratch my own itch. Was, you know, for the production world, studios are expensive and they're big, and sometimes you don't need expensive or big studios to do stuff like we're in now in this little studio right now. Yeah. And he was like, what do you think of the idea? And then I didn't know the world at all, so I had no idea. So I really couldn't relate or say, yes, that's a great idea. So it took a second for us to get that idea rolling. And then when it came to the know-how and understanding of where cameras should be, and that was his end. And then from the other end of the branding and how the layout's going to be, and, you know, then his business side and where we're going to take it and pitch it. And then my end of being more front-facing with people and doing the sales side of things, we were able to, you know, kind of bake together a really cool product, and that was StudioMe.
Yeah, StudioMe, man, is beautiful, by the way. Yeah, I blew up my Instagram with all these stories and shit. I'm like, oh snap! Like, anyway, it's a beautiful idea and great execution.
Thanks.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Well, so the idea behind the studio is that, again, it's sometimes you don't need massive studio spaces. Sometimes you don't have giant budgets. You want to make a decent margin sometimes out of something, or you want to mass produce a lot of content at high quality. And, you know, there's not a lot of places you can go and get that done and be effective and go there and trust them saying, you're going to get me good product. And if I have to crank out 10 podcasts here in a day, or if I have to do a couple of how-to videos or a promo video in one of our other studios, you have to trust that that product's going to be consistent every single time being created, you know, high quality content at an affordable rate. And anyone can come here and create that. So that was kind of our whole thing. We wanted to make it a storefront so people took us seriously and we were credible. And so our thing is balancing authenticity and credibility. So you have to be authentic with people to show them reality and what it's going to take and what they can make and everything, and get the authenticity out of those people when they come and make their videos. But you want to be credible at the same time. So that comes to high quality. It comes to the nice equipment. It's come to the nice facility that you walk into, you know? So yeah, it just took off. We're in it 5 years already. You know, we started January 1st, 2016.
Dang,
and
there you go.
Broke ground a couple months right after that here at the space we're in. And yeah, haven't looked back, and we just keep rolling.
At what point did you get into the black? At what year?
So it was probably around year 3. Okay. Yeah, just the end of year 3 into 4, where it was like it's funny because Keith brought up all the numbers one day, and he's like, we're a textbook what a startup is.
Exactly. Yeah,
when it's a year 1 to year 2 to year 3.
Yeah.
And it's exactly verbatim on how this kind of worked out for us. And then so year 4 was at the point where we were becoming a bit of a household name in the area, where people would just know to come to us for things, or they would see a video like this one we're in right now online, and they would know exactly where it came from, you know, and then they would come in and like, I want that same thing, you know. So that was cool. And then now we're in year 5, and now we're looking to switch and move a little bit to move forward and start, you know, kind of growing this a little bit further. So
heck yeah. Global expansion, son. What do you know? I'm just well, so just for some context for startups, so being in the red is when your liabilities outweigh your assets, right? And then being black is when they're equal, and then when you're in the green is when you're profitable, and then you can concentrate on expansion. So another thing I want to take note on is about how many years of industry experience do you say Keith had in the video world before?
He's been running his own video stuff. Well, he's been creating videos for since he was 13, but he has had his own business since I think 2007. So he'd already been in the game for like 10 years.
Dang, dang, 2 vets coming to, that's sick. Yeah.
So it's and we both know the professional corporate side and how we need to be dressed up so people take us seriously, and we know how to wordsmith and do all the lingo to get us to those places.
Yeah.
And so we have that experience behind us in other realms of life. Like he got his experience through the video side, and I got my experience on the other side of being on the client-facing side, basically, on the corporate side, and dealing with the service industry, basically. So and managing large budgets and teams and everything like that. So it was kind of a nice match together.
That's sick. Yeah. So, man, dang, that's it's a power team right there. Oh yeah. So another thing about startups, it's like, team is everything.
Yeah.
That's working with 200 plus startups, man. The ones I like spent multiple months with, because I was in multiple accelerators and stuff, and I would just be like looking at their habits, like how much they grinded, like which ones were disciplined, like who had a schedule of like waking up early to go to the gym, and then like how much work they would do, and then who partied hard, or like who did it, and which one. I was like just taking notes, and I made accurate predictions. I'm like, all right, these guys aren't gonna make it. These guys aren't. I'm like, all right. So then I developed this intuition of what I learned about like complementary teams with different personalities and abilities, as well as discipline. And the startup grind is discipline.
Yeah,
right?
dude, it's. I think that's why we worked well together, is we were on the same wavelength in probably 90% of everything. But it's the 10% that we differentiate each other in other ways, which makes us really strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, our hustle and grind mentality is pretty deep. I mean, I don't mind spending up crazy hours, and I've missed 2 New Year's in a row because I was here working on stuff. And this past couple of weeks, we've been in the studio till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night every night for some new things that we have coming up. And we don't care. We don't mind that. We don't really complain about it. We do it because we know we have to.
Yeah.
And we're looking for the bigger picture. We're looking for the next 5 years now, since we already started with 5 years in mind.
100%.
What does the next 5 years look like? So I know what you're talking about. I've definitely come across people where I try to feel them out to see if they're serious or not, and if they are, then we talk and we figure something out. And if they're not, you don't hear from them again.
Exactly.
So,
yes, exactly. Yeah. So what was also cool about their story, what I learned is, that it takes a lot of industry. Usually startups form from an insight of specialized industry experience, right? You had the corporate, you had the design, environmental, like the IKEA side, whatever I'll say. And then he had the video world, and he knew what demands. When you're in the trenches, you understand what needs are underserved, right?
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you start getting ideas. Oh, you start thinking, oh, wouldn't that be cool if? Yep. And then that trail of thinking leads to these solutions, and then voila, StudioMe, fulfilling the niche.
Yeah, it's down to the experience, because the world is not used to. Well, I would say about 99% of people are not used to going into professional studio settings
100%.
At any level, at any skill level, or at any industry.
Yeah. And
to be user friendly, to be easy. So like, it was nice pairing back and forth, because I come from a lot of that user experience side of things, and he comes from the side of, well, this microphone didn't work, and the lighting and that last thing that I ever shot never worked, so let's not do that. So I was like, okay, how do we make this easier and friendly for people to walk in? That, if you're an intern in a marketing company, you need to crank out videos. Let's make this super friendly for you to walk in and say, my boss told me to come in here and start creating things, help me, and then, so how do we pair the user friendly to the high end professional tech side together and make this like a happy medium for people to not be overwhelmed coming in? And that's interesting, especially lately. We have people coming in and they're super nervous, and they sit down and they kind of crank through it, and they do this for a couple of months straight, and they actually come out pretty professional with their content, because they get confident. They understand this isn't that big monster that they're walking into anymore, and it's the lights, camera, action type feel is in front of your face.
Sick.
And they just become themselves, and they create some really good stuff. So I think that was the whole point. Like Keith saw where the industry was moving. I saw that we need to keep this still user friendly and still nice for people, versus just building a black box and people show up to it. And we were able to pair those two together and kind of make that happen. So
that's so sick.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 skills that you say Keith would have?
Definitely business savvy. Since he has been kind of running his thing, he's the numbers guy. I am. He knows more. He keeps more track of the numbers. We separate certain things that each of us do, so we're not stepping over each other's toes and everything. 100%. So I would say the numbers, he's good at seeing more of futures. So, Keith sometimes will text me ideas like really late at night, 'cause sometimes he's up for a long time. And he's like, what do you think of this? I just thought of that. So he's really good at throwing up the softball for an idea. And then I'll help him hit it off,
that's dope.
I would say that. And then I would say being strategic about deals and making deals.
Like negotiate the art of the deal type stuff?
And negotiating, yeah.
Not Trump style, but
or
Trump style, whatever.
He's very good at, thinking about what the value added is to things. And I've learned that over the years because I didn't come from the business side at all. So I've learned a lot from him. I would say I learned everything from him when it came to the business side of things. And so he's really good on that side, and he'll tell you he always wants to be behind the camera. He always wants to be behind the scenes. He doesn't want to be front facing. He doesn't like
roll behind the curtains.
Basically, he wants to be that guy, that dude, that operator in the back end. And then I don't mind being front facing. So that's a big balance between us right there that we appreciate.
That's sick. What do you think he would say are your top 3 strengths?
I think it would probably be consolidating a lot of information and making it simple. So if you come to me with 10 ideas,
dude, that's hard. That's sick. Keep going. I'll keep going.
I would say is like I can take a mess of information and then boil it down to a simple message and then get a 30-second video out for you when you talk to me for 2 hours. I would say probably the people facing side of it, just because he doesn't want to do it, and that she's just not comfortable with that, and like the presenting side of it and selling side of it. And then I'm not sure what the third thing would be, honestly. We just do the same thing over and over coming in. So I don't know if I have I don't know. I would say I know he always makes fun of me sometimes for it, and it's being like overly optimistic and trying to see the silver lining in a lot of stuff.
That's super valuable for startups.
So he pokes at me about that sometimes. He goes, there's not always a silver lining in everything, so like, there's not always like, something out of it. Sometimes you might just walk away versus trying to like keep beating at it, So, sometimes you got to learn to when you cut your losses and just keep moving on versus just keep going after it, because if it might get too far down the hole with it, then it's hard to come out. So I think I learned to pick and choose that. Whereas before I'm like, let's just do this. Let's just do that. Yes to everything. Yes to everything. It's like, well, you have to learn how to say no a lot of the times,
100%,
there's not a lot of yeses. So I would say I'm good and bad at that at the same time.
Hell yeah. So it's actually really interesting that he said Keith would say his greatest strength is to be able to distill a mess of information into something very simple. So they say simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, right?
Yeah.
And then arriving at that simple solution is probably the most complex and difficult part.
Yep.
So the thing is, what's crazy about, what do you think about your experience contributed to your ability to simplify?
Over the past 10 years my last job, it was presenting and trying to sell my designs to big corporations.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
So it's me, traveling around the U.S. A client will come to me with a problem, and they say, "Okay, we have the new construction show coming up in Vegas. We're going to try to pitch this new rock crusher that we have," in which I just did this last year before everything shut down from the pandemic. I was in Vegas for that show, and they're selling these $1 million, $2 million rock crushers. Their budget was $1.5 million, and they have a big space, and they were sick of using their money elsewhere within the service of building their hang signs and their floor layouts and the double decks that they had meetings in to sell people their products. And I had to sell them on a brand new idea of how to use their money correctly versus the past, so something was super impactful, easy to set up. So taking all of their mess of ideas and all the complications and boil it down to one solution that I can sell to them. Yeah. That's what I've been doing for 10 years. So it's in front of 20 people, it's in front of 2 people, and 1 person over the phone, in person, what have you. I just got really good at that, and to, create those presentation decks to show and display and tell that story. So I would say I'm really good at the branding and telling stories and getting that out of people, because it's just a repetitive thing that I was dealing with for 10 years, and learning from the gurus at my company that do that all the time. The guys have been there for 20, 30 years. Yeah. I'm just learning from them, how they, wordsmith and make magic happen.
Dude, he's like the tall 6'3" white version of me. I'm just joking. But like, have you read John Maeder's Laws of Simplicity?
I've heard of it. Yeah, and I've seen some quotes from it.
Yeah, you saw the TED
over the time.
TED Talk. Yeah, it's a really good book. Anyway, it just reminded me a lot of that stuff. But how long have you been drawing? Like since a kid?
I've always been drawing my whole life. Everything. I had like a little like writing artist studio in my bedroom, and the easel and all that stuff. And but I was really good at like more of the technical drawing of things.
When did you start getting into that? At what point do you think you started getting interested in
I think when it was probably my midway through high school that I was more excelling at more architectural or more product development type drawings and everything.
Was there like a class that you took?
Yeah, it was just art in school. And
really? Oh,
yeah. But I was able to copy, objects such as a cup. I was able to copy things pretty well.
Oh,
and,
dope.
How this sits. And
Man.
Then when I went to school for the product development side of things, it was doing, more organic sketching of product development from a thing, an idea that you've made, and then 400 drawings later, and from design and research, this is what it's going to be, and build it.
Yeah.
So I've been drawing my whole life. I'm pretty rusty nowadays because I work on 3D modeling, so a lot of my drawing is very quick sketches on a napkin, and I'll already have the idea in my head, and then I'll like create all of it virtual, in a 3D program.
Well, use what, Blender or
3ds Max?
3ds. What was the design that it's for Office? I'm blanking out, but it's an industrial design product design tool. It's like, have I heard?
So there's Rhino. There's 3D CAD,
AutoCAD. 3D, AutoCAD. There you go.
AutoCAD.
That's what we worked out with hacks and stuff.
Yeah. So, I just got really good at doing that and seeing visions pretty fast and being able to crank out designs.
You remind me of all my like industrial design friends who went to tech. Man, they would like, you're just speaking the same language.
Yeah,
they're freaking dope.
Yeah,
but like, so you're as a gym head. Do you what kind of music do you like?
Oh God, I don't think anyone likes the music I like. I'm
from Cleveland, bro.
I vary every now and then, but the past, I would say 6 or 7 years, it's like crazy, like metalcore.
Oh,
like it's the stuff that blows your ears out. That for some reason I can just like I'm on it.
Yeah, it just juices you up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but then I got to like listening it outside of the studio or outside of the gym, and it just became a regular thing. I mean, I vary all over with music. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
I love it all, but for some reason, like I love like if you really listen to some of that crazy like core like metalcore music or like the hard rock music, you actually have to have an ear for it to hear every levels of the song, and they're pretty intricate. A lot of them are, and I never thought about it.
Sure.
I just thought it was like a bunch of screaming and that was it. But then you actually listen over and over and over and over, and like, oh wow, there's actually a lot that I didn't realize was in it. So I don't know why. I listen to all that stuff.
Who are your top 5 artists?
Oh God. Well, if you want to say in general top 5 artists, I would say not for just that.
Yeah,
part
just
of it,
in general.
In that
music,
genre. So City and Color is my number 1. I've known them for probably 8 or 9 years now, and I love everything they have. They're from Canada, and I would say 2 would be Linkin Park.
Oh snap! Linkin Park, 2011 or 2001. Sorry.
Yeah,
man.
Those are my guys.
When they first broke out, like Crawling.
Man.
Dude, raw memories and nostalgia, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like some of the old school stuff just gets me sometimes. Like the Goo Goo Dolls might be up there too. That's a random one that I just hit real hard growing up. I love them. As from like the hardcore side of things, there's Miss May I is a band.
Okay.
They're pretty good. There's what's the other one? See, now I'm blanking. Like I can hear all of the music in my head right now. I just I don't know the name.
Good.
I don't really have a top 5, I would say, but those would probably be like my top 3-ish that I'm listen to a lot are 4-ish, that always show up.
Yeah.
And they're very drastic, they're very different from each other.
Okay. Yeah.
But the City and Color Band, I would say that the head singer, Dallas Green, he came from that screamo, emotional, crazy music. And then he came into this more melodic, like alternative music, and he's got the most beautiful voice in the world.
Word.
And you would never guess that was the same dude when you look at it. He's like tatted up to his neck, but the voice that comes out of him, you're like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. Their music it's pretty spot on. I love their stuff. So
dang. So what's crazy is like I know nothing about the rock world. So my industrial design friend from Georgia Tech, he's one of my best friends. His AKA is Lanky Jesus White, like LJW, also known as Love Justice War. He looks like Jesus. Yeah, he's been like developing my taste for like he's like, oh, listen to this song to help me appreciate like rock and like heavy metal and all that stuff, or AKA white people music. I don't know, not to be I don't know sensitive times, but I'm just saying. But like yeah, I'm like because I never grew up listening to it, and I'm like I'm developing an appreciation for it. So I was like. Everyone he mentioned, I only knew Linkin Park. But it's just like that's the cool thing. So like Born, shout out Born. He's not here. When Born's here, it's called The Bid. When it's just me, it's called Kind Hearts Mobilecast. But yeah, he's busy with our music part. He's the music guy. He knows his taste of music is so much faster. He's like 10,000 times more talented than me at music, and like he's got like owl ears if they have they have eyes. Owl, whatever. Who has a very
maybe like a fox or something.
Yeah, fox ears or something. Like he has crazy ears, and he's always like when we're about to record, he's always like, and he's like checking the acoustics and stuff, like scientific with that stuff.
I will say when we were starting the studio and like figuring out that whole deal, because the startup world and that whole small business world was brand new to me, and before that I almost opened up a small microbrewery. With some people. You almost
a
handful of years just before we did this.
Yeah.
And I will say, to get me back into the mentality of the hustle and everything and figuring out that was Meek Mill, I listened
shout out Meek Mill. What's up, Philly? Let's go, man.
Yeah, like
I'm a mouse.
I just like I don't know what it was, but the energy that comes out of him, it's like this grind,
Oh yeah.
Even though he had a life that I can't relate to, but I can understand that you got to work super hard for what you want.
100%.
And you don't let a lot of things get in your way type deal. So, the amount of risk that we took on for this place, you had to get in your mentality of that, things really had to happen. And you really had to start thinking in a different way than just the average person doing the 9-to-5 work, you weren't. So like, I just related to the energy of his music, and I just listen to it all the time.
I mean, you being from Pittsburgh, you don't like Wiz Khalifa?
Yeah, Wiz is cool. Yeah, I like those guys. I don't listen to a lot of rap, I would say.
Oh, that's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I mean, but when it's on, I'm on it. Like I don't care.
Sure.
That's like not the first natural thing that I would go and turn on.
So when you're trying to hit a personal max of a bench press, what song do you put on?
It's whatever the energy is in that crazy metal music. Like I have Pandora, like the station, so it just rolls through.
Gotcha. So you're you can't think of like a top song that you would go like, all right, if I'm gonna try to hit my personal max, this is the song I would put on. It's
from Miss May I. It's called The River.
Okay.
That song.
Shout out Miss Maya, The River.
It's Wage War.
Oh, that's a hard name. Wage War.
I'm pretty sure it's called The River from Wage War.
Wage War. Yeah, that's a hard name. Okay.
It hits hard.
I'm gonna listen.
It hits hard. I'll show you it after this.
Puts you in like a rabid frenzy.
Yeah, first you're like, what's happening? And then like, actually a really good beat is in it. Like it's a solid beat. And it's just like, all the way through, just hard, and you're like, oh, okay, I can't stop moving when it's on.
Man, I forgot I'm like blinking on all of these artists, but this one rock, the song is called Four Horsemen.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
Man, I'm just like, anyway, that's one of the workout songs. I'm like, there's this part where it's like dun 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 dun. I'm just like, oh yeah, it just like juices me up.
And like I'm always careful now in the gym because I've hurt myself a few times. And I'm getting older. Like I would say, I never believe anyone after they're like, when you hit 30 and after 30, like everything starts to hurt. And I'm 32 and I didn't believe him at first. I'm like, oh, screw that. I'm not gonna, I was 29, 28. I was like, I'm gonna be young forever, And then 30 came around, like everything started hurting. And then I tore my pec right off my shoulder.
Really?
Yeah. And so that really hurt. And I have a torn PCL on my right leg. So there's always like injuries and aches and stuff. So I don't push super, super hard anymore because I value like how I want to feel afterwards, you know?
100%.
So I'm always careful. I'm just, you know, solid in a lot of ways with just a basic, good, normal workout, you know, and keep it intense a couple times a week. That's about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your favorite workout?
So I've been going to this gym on Saturdays one time a week, sometimes twice a week, and it's called a HIIT workout, high intensity.
Yeah, of course. High intensity interval training. It's a fat burner. Yeah,
it is wild.
Yes.
And they're called Strength Lab. And
shout out Strength Lab.
Yeah, Chris and Heather have an amazing setup down there and downtown on Boulevard of the Allies. And it's a good class, 9 a.m., and they kick your ass for 1 hour straight, and I'm literally on my hands and knees crawling out of there. The first time I ever went, I threw up, actually.
Damn!
Yeah, before the last...
But it's not, what the fuck am
It's
I
not like CrossFit.
Yeah, it's not CrossFit, yeah.
Yeah,
like
they do some of the
like,
CrossFit movements, but there's a lot more going on when CrossFit than... I would say they're both intense. There's just not a lot of those like Olympic movements, in lifting in the HIIT training versus...
so do you do like a lot of burpees or box jumps or something?
A lot of burpees, a lot of box jumps,
okay.
A lot of like really
stuff.
quick running. A lot of kettlebell work.
For sure.
Pushing sleds and everything.
That's sick.
Yeah, so and it's always a good group of people that go. So I would say those workouts are my favorite right now.
Dang. What about when you're hitting the weights? When Jack and Steel, what's your favorite?
Weights? Honestly, I love legs.
You like legs?
I do a lot of legs. Yeah.
Squats or a leg press?
Both.
Yeah, I mean, which one do you like better?
No, it depends on my lower back is feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say it would probably be squats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope,
if you're doing it right and you get good at it.
Did you play any sports growing up?
So I played baseball for 12 years.
Damn.
And then basketball for about 9.
You played in high school and college, or like
high school and just like grade school.
Yeah.
And then I was always like I would say the fat kid growing up and everything. So I was always like the last kid being picked for a lot of stuff. And
so you're like the underdog mentality.
It was like always like
wrong.
that. Yeah. And then I went out for football my last year in high school, and I ended up making it and playing, all 10 games and everything in the front line.
You were starting?
Yeah, I was always a starter.
What was the position?
So I was a sometimes tight end, but I was more of a tackle. On the offense.
Word.
I was actually the smallest on the line, but I was able to run around and do some movements a lot of the guys couldn't. So that's what I was valuable at.
Well, do you think your training in basketball helped you with that? Like
I would say movements, footwork, and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say so.
100%,
Yeah, but then from there, I got some interest to play in college from colleges.
Oh, word.
After that
really?
1 year.
Damn, just 1 year. Dang.
Yeah.
So you had like a natural ability, would you say?
In a way, I had to learn the whole entire sport.
Yeah,
and,
of course,
like doing 2-days and everything like that summer before, and then just kind of figured it out and played it, because like just a couple of simple movements for what it was. Yeah, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll go and play in college and figure that out. Dang. It was only like a D3 school, but at the same time, it's like that next level.
Bro. Yeah, for sure.
It's business then. And, I had to go to school then for like a generic thing, and it was business. And it's kind of ironic now because I was like, I hate business. I don't want to do that. And here I am with a business. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I thought I was going to probably go do that, go to a college and figure that out. And then randomly the Art Institute came around, and that was by accident, and that's why I'm here today. So yeah, it's kind of funny how things work, and happen, because I would never expect to be sitting here 10 years ago, 13 years ago.
But you're happy, right?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Super fulfilled, right?
Yeah.
Doing
for sure.
a lot of cool stuff, and Pittsburgh's a dope city too. What's your what's your favorite football movie?
I mean, I love Rudy. As funny as people think that movie is, it's called Rudy. It's from Notre Dame. It's the athlete who came as a walk-on.
Oh,
and he was like a 5'4", 5'5" guy, really small, and he ended up working his ass off for years and years at Notre Dame.
That reminds me of like Invincible, kind of.
Yeah, and then he ended up like making a play or something happened at the end of a game, and then they carried him off the field, and the whole stadium would call his name like Rudy.
Oh,
and so he was known
sick.
for that. So
that's sick.
Yeah, he's got a plaque somewhere in the university or something like that.
I never.
It's called Rudy. It was probably shot back in like late 90s, I would say, probably 98, 99.
Oh, really? So it's
don't
like
quote me on that one, but I think it's around there. Yeah.
You like The Replacements?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite football movies.
I don't watch a lot of sports in general.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, so I know these movies
Yeah.
and I know some of the stuff. I know just enough about sports nowadays to like talk to people, but like it doesn't. I don't know what it is. I can't watch it. I'd rather play it.
Yeah,
know? But
100%. Me too.
If we're at a bar or we're talking to people, or I'm over someone's house, the group, and
You're not
they're
part
watching
of the
it.
sports circles. Yeah.
Well, no, but if they're gonna start getting technical and talking about this or that or
Yeah,
fantasy
gotcha.
this or that, like I don't really care about
Yeah,
that.
same here,
But
same
I'll
here.
know enough to say, oh yeah, so and so's really good, and
Okay.
oh I heard he averaged this last week. You know, that's
Word.
about it. You know.
Yeah.
So
You're 6'3", right?
yeah, I think so.
Were
Yeah.
you at what year did you hit your growth spurt for like?
Oh geez, I don't know. I've always been tall.
Oh, word. Okay, never
yeah,
mind.
even like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, I was like 5'11".
Oh,
you know.
damn. Okay, dang.
I was always kind of tall in general. Like I was always just a big
Gotcha.
kid.
Oh,
you know,
gotcha,
like I was just a
gotcha.
big kid. Like
Yeah.
7th and 8th grade. 7th grade, I weighed like 225 at 5'11".
Holy, you were a big boy.
Yeah.
So you started working out for your football or basketball?
No, I started working out just because I was sick of being made fun of. Actually,
Oh, dang.
yeah, I lost around 50-ish pounds, 60-ish pounds almost from 7th grade to 8th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade going into 9th grade,
Dang.
and then I was actually too light then in 9th grade, so I was like 180, 175 going into my freshman year of high school, and then I was like almost too small, and then I ended up graduating at like 230. So like it was a big 4-year difference there, and like obviously the ratio to fat and muscle changed, you know, in those 4 years. But yeah, I was working at a landscaping company from
And they were making fun
like
of you for
8th
being
grade.
fat?
Well, no, so this is where I wanted I wanted to go to a place where I could start earning money, but then be physical at the same time. And we knew this family
there you go.
who had the
there you go.
landscaping
Yeah,
company.
that's
So I
dope.
saved up my money and bought myself like a gym set, and I put it in
That's
my parents'
sick.
basement. And I
Damn.
would get up in the morning before school in 7th grade and 8th grade, and I would work out before school.
So he was demonstrating a lot of high-level problem solving at an early age.
Basically,
Yeah,
like
that's
and
cool.
it's
like killing two birds with one stone type of stuff, you know, and then helping him like fulfill his purpose while making money, and then
Yeah.
to invest in other future things. To like,
also
help him out.
determination and
100%.
and being able to be stay focused. Like
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of 7th and 8th graders, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I can-
what's
I
their
can
level
say
of
that.
focus?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
You have a goal, now do it. You
Yeah.
know. So I thought sports was a really good thing for me, and I was in the Boy Scouts long time
They
in my
teach you
life.
good skills. Yeah.
Everything there, and I that was a huge deal, I think, because
100%.
my whole family was in it, and you learned a lot of skills to manage real life situations and to figure things out. So
100%.
I would say that incorporated a lot of my teachings too. So
And lesson learned: fat shaming can be productive.
yeah, and honestly, I mean, you see it all the time. You see it all the time.
Everyone's like, "You can't fat shame," but like, hey,
I
it works for it. There you go. It's
think it's done the right way. I think you get things done.
done the right way. No, actually, a funny story. Hopefully, hey, Kevin, don't hate me for this. But my older brother, he was super fat, like in middle school, and me and my younger brothers, we just trashed him so much. And then from 8th grade to 9th grade to high school, he like metamorphosized. He raised everyone's eyebrows at high school, and then like he also hit a growth spurt. And then like and then his confidence just like boosted. You know?
Oh yeah, I think it's
yeah.
huge. I think it's especially when you kind of read between the lines sometimes with
Yeah.
that. You know, people. Or you're noticing your clothes are getting bigger, this or that. And I was just noticing that I wasn't able to do stuff as the other kids were doing, or, you know, when it came to be like shirts and skins on the basketball court, you know, I was always trying to get away from being the skins because
Yeah.
I'd have to take my shirt off. I was so afraid growing up.
That's hilarious. That's like
So scared.
I shouldn't be laughing, but
No, I know.
That's hilarious. No,
No.
I know what you mean, bro. No, yeah.
I was so scared. I was like, shit, I've got to
Such an asshole.
I've got to be in the skins team.
Okay, I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
So that was something that was like, because the kids on the team, then it would be obvious that I was, you know, I was just a lot bigger than all the kids
Yeah.
on my team, and they were always just very small, like petite dudes, you know, because they haven't grown up yet. I mean,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
everyone's not in that stage, but I was just a little bit bigger than all of them, you know. So I hated being on the skins. I was like, someone's got to get like just different colored jerseys. Let's just flip them inside out, you know.
Nice.
So yeah.
What would you say is one critical or important decision that you made in college or something that you didn't know would have like a lot of paid dividends in the future?
So the Art Institute, not to get in deep with them and stuff, there was a lot of things going on where there wasn't a lot of support and effort in some ways of getting your degree.
Oh, word.
And so they didn't bring a lot of updated industry knowledge in to help you. And we had my mentor, one of my teachers, his name is Justin. And
Shout out Justin.
Justin Adliff, yeah.
And
he's a very successful industrial designer.
Nice.
And he came into the school to help kind of adjunct teach at first, and then he became kind of like the dean of like the industrial design part, and like kind of ran it.
Yeah.
And he would fail us left and right when he first came in because he was like, "You guys are nowhere near where you need to be for the industry."
Drill sergeant type.
Yeah,
shit.
he was like, "You're gonna fail the minute you get out, and then you're gonna be serving me French fries at a restaurant." Like that was his kind of thing.
Jesus Christ, that's not true, but no, it's
he looked at all of our
good.
portfolios. He goes, "Just throw it out. Let's start over. You have 1 year left. Let's just figure this out."
Damn.
So
that's cool.
we just hustled, and we hustled hard, and we were spending late nights with buddies. We would just order beer and pizza and work throughout the entire evening, even into the morning.
That's
and then,
sick.
And then go right to class.
You pulled a shit ton of all-nighters?
All the time. All the time. And my longest time being awake with my friends working on stuff was 5 days with like little cat naps in between.
I'm surprised none of y'all had a psychotic break or something.
Well, I was using like pre-workout to keep myself up.
Okay, damn.
And then like the way my internships were in classes and like the amount of work I wanted to like create with everyone, and everyone was kind of in on it together. So like the energy was there.
Oh yeah, accountability and all that, just that teamwork synergy.
Yeah, so like there was a couple of us that just like band together that we knew that let's be successful together.
Band of brothers.
Yeah,
dude, you're Justin professor. He sounds like when Denzel and Remember the Titans just changes up the whole thing.
Yeah,
I
mean, it was just
drill sergeant.
Yeah, basically he started failing everyone, and everyone was getting mad at first. I'm like, well, think about it. I mean, he's in real world doing real world work for people 100%. And getting paid for it and living and doing well.
Yeah.
And he's telling us we're nowhere near where the industry standards are. Then we have to do something.
That's sick. Yeah, that's a great story.
Yeah. So and it's funny because it's the people who took it seriously are doing really well, and the people who didn't, I see around
100%. Yeah, baristas at coffee. We know who you are. I'm just
yeah,
we know who you are.
Yeah. It's not for everyone. It's not.
I'm just not to shit on a barista. I'm just joking. Yeah.
It's not for everyone. Like if maybe they thought they wanted to go to school for that because it's kind of like a vocational school in a way, like a trade school. Because you go right into what you're going to do. Like you get all the BS classes out of the way, like the English and all those type of classes they get out of the way very fast. Yeah. And you're right into what you're going to be doing if you want to for the rest of your life. So it kind of weeds out the people who are serious or not. So and he even just further weeded everyone out, know. So but I've had a lot of friends that just changed degrees instantly when I got out and did something new. Just because either they couldn't find a job or it just they didn't think it was caught out for them anymore. So very hard industry, but you could do a lot in it once you're in it. So
if there was one decision that you could change about your past, if you could go back in time, what would it be? Or if it's too personal, you don't need to talk about.
No,
I
don't know.
We could say personal. We could say professional or something.
I'm not sure because I like where I am now, and if I didn't make the decisions I made, I wouldn't be right here. Yeah. So I don't know if there was a bad decision.
Or do you think you like made a better lapse in judgment at some time, or you had a lapse?
Maybe about schooling, and maybe my mentality going into schooling about what I wanted to do. Probably, like I don't think my mentality was there of what I wanted to do. I just knew I was creative, and I didn't know what from that I liked about
100%.
it. And I never really thought about it fully of what I really wanted to do until that last year when Justin kind of like flipped us around.
That's sick. Still, there you go. Remember I told you how like a lot of times with social media marketing or marketing in general or life, all it takes is one person, one whatever. And for them, it was just like one professor / mentor who changed up the way things were done to like really prepare you on do a boot camp style like to give you that like training. So then professionally like all this shit that we're doing, actually we don't have insane deadlines anymore, and then you can be more disciplined and all that stuff, like just more prepped and stuff. Yeah,
I think it was like I felt like potentially I was probably on autopilot for the first couple of years. And what I was 10 years ago to I am now is a completely 180 change of just mentality and everything. But yeah, I think I was on autopilot going into school, going kind of through it. And then that last year is kind of when it woke me up to, say, oh, crap, I need to figure this out and keep moving and hustle really hard to get where I want to be.
Damn, that's sick. So that's dope. Yeah, so that was your wake-up call.
Yeah, I would say that's probably it. Yeah,
that's
for professional wise.
Yeah, a lot of people just, they have just random stories like that. Or, but that's dope.
Yeah.
So what other hobbies do you have?
People always ask me that. I don't know. Like
you're just a workaholic.
well, but it's fun to me. Like it's
yeah, exactly.
And I still have my other job too. I mean, I'm furloughed right now from the pandemic, but I still have that job because I like that job and I like the design and creative aspect. But I also like the design and creative aspect of the video world. And then the design and creativity of building a business. So they can all be creative in one. They're just like different mindsets for each. And I really enjoy that.
Sick.
So, I mean, I've had a couple of businesses at once plus that job and was doing, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, every single day and loved it and didn't mind it at all. So I would say hobby wise, I mean, I like cigars. I like that idea of them.
That's so random. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, I like
so
cigars.
Random. That's awesome. Have you been to Cuba?
No, but I appreciate how that stuff is made and created and everything, and I'll read up on it every now and then.
Damn, yeah, so you really like cigars.
Yeah, but I like cars too.
Did you watch that Michael Jordan interview when they were smoking cigars?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a long time ago. I saw it.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that's funny. I figured you would. Yeah,
but I mean, I'll go with. So I love networking, connecting with people, and so there's a handful of us that are all like, we're doing something big, or they're trying to figure out a new business, or they want to bounce ideas. So we'll get together at a local cigar shop. And
that's sick. Might be the next one, bro.
We'll just bounce ideas.
So you're just mastermind group type, like creative brainstorming.
Yeah, it's
shit.
when everyone.
That's sick, bro.
It's when their schedules are open because everyone's busy.
Invite me to the next one, please.
Yeah.
I would love to be there.
But it might be a problem they might have.
Yeah, of course.
And then, but my perspective might be different to help them solve
Yeah,
100%,
100%. That's dope.
And so, so
I love that type of shit.
Yeah, we were on that for like 2 years straight. We were doing that once a month, and then pandemic happened, so that kind of fell through. But we're trying to get it back up here pretty soon.
Hey, Born. Yeah, look forward. We got a lot to look forward to. Born is super. This guy's a superstar in the making. But I'm I'm trying to like train him up on some of the professional side and stuff.
Cool.
But super. You would love his just creativity and just energy. Just like going. Yeah, his mind is crazy. I don't know how it works, but he's like an alien. But like, but yeah, that's freaking.
But that's about it. Like I would say is like I love the storytelling side of businesses and what they should be doing.
You like telling story. You're a storyteller. That's
what's
what's up.
So when it comes to creating ideas for people, other than it just being like the job, but it's fun to do, and I end up like talking way too much about their ideas and pulling things out.
Dude, that's just like me. I just said he's like the 6'3" white version of me. That's like 100%, like fucking parallel soul brothers right here. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I want to get out more this year. That sounds so bad, but I want to get out and do more stuff.
Have you traveled anywhere? So
not lately,
dude. Man, you would fucking love hacks. Like when I was working with China, and then they have like multiple places. They have New York or cousin incubator programs.
Yeah,
and it's just all the type of shit you talking about.
That's
but
cool.
you're seeing everyone execute on all these different ideas of different industries, from like biotech type,
that's cool.
like 3D printing cell tissues and all this crazy shit. Like you're just like, oh my god, this is like, it's like a brain idea orgasm type shit. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, you would like that. We had, cause so we're trying to. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to like do more stuff with CMU and stuff. But like because we had a couple of our teams. They were located in Pittsburgh because they started from CMU, but then they relocated to like Silicon Valley and stuff. But yeah, I mean, in due time, bro. Yeah. A lot to look forward to. Also, have you traveled anywhere globally? And if so, what are your top 3 places?
So I don't often at all. I love. I'm like here and there with flying. Like I like the puddle jumper type flights. So it's like me to like 1 state over or 2 states over. You
take flights for those?
Yeah, like if it's just a meeting I have to be in and out of,
for
my
sense.
other job. Like if I was in New Jersey a lot, just flying in and out of there like a couple times a week for a while.
Okay.
Just for meetings with clients. Like I love those little types of flights and like random weekend trips. But I did go to I was in Milan, Italy. For the fashion and furniture design show. That was 2012 or 13, maybe 14. And that was like culture shock a little way in like the best way possible. Like I loved it. And so I was only there for like 3 days tops. And I ended up running into a buddy there by accident. Like I didn't know he was supposed to even be there, and ran into him randomly at some cathedral, like standing out front.
For sure.
But yeah, Milan is really, really cool. but that's as far as I've ever been outside the country of anything like that. Like
Okay.
I'm very content in where I am, what I'm doing and stuff.
Bro,
And,
you need to get out more, bro.
I know.
Someone as creative as you, bro.
Yeah,
with that sense of adventure. I'm like, I'm a little surprised.
well,
bro.
so what after a handful of years, I've learned, even before the studio, it's if you want to be like a certain person, surround yourself with people like that. You know, or you
100%.
want to be a certain way.
Oh yeah, and so you found your tribe. And
So
you're
I
like,
found like that tribe of people, or
Yeah.
like that type of mentality or mindset or like success that I wanted to be around,
Mhm.
and I purposely kept myself around that.
Yeah.
And a lot of it wasn't going out and traveling and doing a lot. It was like getting what you want, earning it, working hard for it,
Yeah.
staying on the grind. So now it's like, I do want to get out there and do more. And so now I've got to find people who do that, who want to get out there and do things.
No,
and
for
then
sure.
that'll help me.
I got you, bro.
tweak.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, so that's
we're new best friends. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, so it's just hanging out with people that, I mean, I've got a lot of friends who are like that,
Yeah.
but I just like, I don't take that part so seriously because I'm not ever interested in doing the travel part. But now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I kind of want to do things. I randomly bought like a Jeep with like big tires and like
Oh,
a lift kit on it. So like,
off-roading
I was like, I want to
baby.
go take it somewhere and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something, but I
That's
don't know
dope.
anyone who does that, so I don't want to go alone. You know?
Yeah, I got you.
So I was like, okay, I got to find people who do this stuff, and force myself to get out.
Who would you say your top 3 influences in life are? Whether it be for design or just like your character building, sports, or just
Yeah, I would say, I mean, definitely, I would say, I mean, probably a lot of people say this about like your parents, in a way.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, my father, like just before the studio was built, actually before the idea came up, my dad suddenly passed, and
Oh,
so
I'm
like
sorry.
the one thing he would always say is the only constant in life is change, and so there's actually a plaque out in the front door that says that, and
Damn, bro.
the more you change, that's the most constant thing. If you don't change, then you're stagnant and nothing happens. So, a lot of that whole situation made me realize where I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. And so that was one of my dad's on the more of the technical side, which I have that, and my mom's on the creative side. So that's where I get a lot of the creativity from.
Okay.
And her always finding the silver lining, being optimistic is where I get a lot of that from. So that was like they were a huge piece in like, I guess how my pedigree is and how my makeup is now. And then I would say,
Shout out Papa Joe.
Yeah.
And Papa and Mama Joe.
yeah,
Yeah, all of them.
yeah. And, I think it's just the people I hang out with the most. I mean, Keith is a very big part of my life of almost being like an older brother in a way,
Okay.
because I'm
Yeah.
the oldest.
Word.
My
Word.
other brother's youngest.
Word.
He's 29 and I'm
Okay.
32, and Keith is 4 years older than me. So
Yeah.
it's like a lot of real life situations that I can't ask my dad anymore that I can ask him. And I know that he might listen to this like, that sounds weird, but like there were big life decisions and things happening that I couldn't turn to my parents for, and then especially my dad, because he was always the money and technical sides.
Word.
And I didn't have that to turn to. So I was like, I don't know how to handle this situation. So I'd go to Keith for it.
Yeah.
And Keith's like, yeah, I've been there, done that 4 years ago, when you were in that situation, So I would say he's been a really pivotal piece in how I've been for the past, I would say 7 years. And then I don't know if I have anyone else. I mean, that I always constantly look up to and everything. I would say it's probably just podcast personalities or
But then who's your
people doing
who's your
online.
top podcast personality?
I listen to, I don't know if you heard of Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, of course.
For money.
You're like money guy.
Well,
for
it's
sure,
just
yeah.
like that
No,
stuff
he's
lately.
he's lit. Yeah, he's fucking
His whole
dope.
team and everything.
Yeah.
I would say that was a big one. I mean, I listened to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's dope. Yeah.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't usually get on bandwagons and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if the content makes sense for me, I'll just listen to watch it and like gain something.
No, I know,
from it.
I know exactly what you mean. Same here. What's your favorite Joe Rogan podcast episode that sticks out to you?
Jeez, I have no idea.
It doesn't have to be favorite or one that sticks out, or it's one that you were like, ooh, that's an interesting insight.
God,
Because that shit's dope, man. Like I love the insights.
What's the one? I mean, the Elon Musk's ones are always
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Yeah, I know. I was like, come on, bro, Elon Musk.
They're always awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ones with Elon Musk and Lex Friedman. I always too.
Yeah.
Lex
The one with
Friedman's
Elon, I think, was the best. Was he was talking about the chip in the brain?
Yeah,
one.
Neuralink. Yeah.
Yeah, Neuralink.
I actually applied to them. Yeah. So yeah.
Actually, I got a friend who works for
yeah.
them.
I'm waiting to hear back from my email. Elon, come on, let's go. I'm just joking. Yeah.
My friend actually works for them. He's on.
Oh, word
I
for
think he's on
Neuralink or
No,
SpaceX?
he's on
Tesla?
SpaceX.
Oh yeah, I had a couple colleagues work for Tesla. So
Yeah,
that's
he
dope.
loves it there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like have like people that I necessarily like follow all the time and listen
Okay,
to and everything. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV and stuff. I just do a lot of.
He just grinds.
Well, I do a lot of like YouTube.
Youngin on this grind.
I just YouTube a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
for
I'd rather do that, or people like, oh, did you watch that one like season of that show or whatever? And I don't really get on the bandwagon of seasons.
Yeah, I don't
a lot of that
watch
stuff.
TV at all. I like the ones I watch is Rick and Morty, and then I saw Dave, the little Dicky, like the rap thing, and then the only anime I've ever watched like full season is One Punch Man. I haven't seen anything. I don't watch TV. You know.
Yeah,
I'm a movie dude, but yeah.
I mean, lately I've had a lot more time since my other 60-hour-a-week job has been gone. So
sure.
I've had to figure out what else to do with myself. That job is coming back, and I don't want to get rid of it. So it's like, when that happened, I was like, there was a lot of days I was just kind of like sitting there. I was like, okay, well, I'll go to the studio and work on stuff. And shut everything down.
There you go.
And that's why that's why we're pivoting and moving the business else, to do new things.
Yeah,
to
for sure.
Kind of, be malleable to what's going on right now.
Hell yeah. What's y'all's next move for StudioMe?
So it's
Global
gonna be interesting.
expansion.
I don't like. Yeah, we're almost done with it. It's actually in the back studio that we had showed.
Oh
you
yeah,
a
that's
couple
right.
days
Yeah,
ago.
it's a dope studio. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a pipe dream for a long time, and we're gonna start a new business for that side of it. And when the pandemic happened, this was kind of the catalyst to get us moving on it. And it's basically creating remotely operated studios.
Hell yeah, you're already on that. You're already on that shit. What's up, baby?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Hey. Remote is the future, as we all know, and yes.
And people are still going to have to be doing studio productions and all that. You're not going to be able to just do Zoom calls and Zoom recordings in your household, because we're noticing over the past year people are sick of that, and they're becoming in the studio more and just taking that educated risk to leave their home to get out in the public and say, okay, I think I'm going to be fine. I'm just going to come in and record because I need better quality, because I need to raise money for my business, or I need
100%.
I need to win business, or I need to get people to think that I'm serious and I'm credible. So they need high quality work, So that's where this new studio is, where we'd be able to basically sit at my kitchen countertop, and I'd be able to remotely produce an entire video from my laptop into a large studio like this.
Hell yeah.
No matter where it is in the country.
Hell yeah.
So
that's
like our developers are working on it right now and putting that all together, the new interface of the app and all that. So
that's sick, man.
Yeah, and then we're going to start expanding that next. That's the new venture for this year to keep moving on. So getting a lot of interest, so it should be fun. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so we're also about to run our hour's almost done, but like, all right, if you had any advice, okay, first of all, I think this man should give a fucking TED talk. Like this guy got a lot of wisdom. All y'all entrepreneurs, y'all know how salty I am from dealing with all you motherfuckers. No, 100% bunch of talkers and no executors, right? This guy fucking executes on his vision. He's passionate, but give the youngins, or people who are older who try to be, give the youngins some advice, please. What's up?
I would say work on your patience.
Oh, God damn, that's fucking heavy. That's keep going.
We live in a world of instant gratification, and when you build a business, you can't expect to win it and make it right then and there because you started it. And when people say, "Oh, I own a business," okay, cool. What's your success rate? What are you doing? Where are you taking? Like, I don't know. I'm just going to make it one day. But there's it's patience. And that's what it took us a while to figure that out and get into it after 5 years of just sacrificing, more or less. I would say work on your patience and know that have a 5-year plan. Don't have a 1 year or 2 year plan or a 3 year plan. Like, have a 5-year plan and see where you want to be, and then take all the necessary steps to get there.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mic drop that motherfucker. Let's go, baby. That was crazy. The time it took for him to answer that. It was usually like, that's something that just on the top of his mind. I'm like, but that's an answer that I like never hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially it's just interesting how he said you adapt to change, and the times are changing so much with the whole instant gratification. Now it's time to just pull back and then work. Yeah, and it takes even more discipline to be patient.
Yep,
that's what's sick.
Right.
Joe, motherfucker. I try not to curse, but this guy, I get excited how he curse, as y'all know. But this guy fucking lit, bro. That was a fucking insightful conversation. Y'all know, hey, BE, this would be the bit without you, but you're doing your grind thing, and anyway. But yeah. This is just fucking hype me up. This is more than fucking morning coffee. Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. But damn, this was a dope ass conversation. Thank you for having me. Thank you for, bringing us in here. Thank you for showing us this TED-esque, IKEA-esque, Apple-esque, Silicon Valley-esque setup. Y'all come to StudioMe if y'all want to do your Kickstarter videos, fucking pitch videos. TED Talks. You should give your own TED Talks. Dude, you have all the resources. There's no reason why this motherfucker can't be viral. Tomorrow, today. All right. So I'm just saying. But Joe, thank you so much,
thanks,
bro.
Steve.
Thank you very much. All right. Peace out, dude. You want to do a shout out to anyone?
No, thanks for everyone who's going to be watching this. And stop on by at StudioMe.
Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Pittsburgh, from the bird to the A. What up, baby? Let's go. All right.
Awesome, dude.